All right, everybody. Hello once again. Carson Meredith with you back in the Wave Now studios. It is 3 o'clock Eastern time. It is Sunday, March 30th, and it is indeed a Wave Weather Alert Day. That alert day just started here at the top of the hour. Let's just jump right into it. Here's radar at the moment. So far, so good. So far, so good. There have not been any supercells that have developed as of yet, but remember, we're just now starting to get into that window where we've seen enough breaks in the sun, especially off to our west this afternoon, to where we're going to have to watch for any isolated cells that may develop here over the next couple of hours. But for the time being, all we still have are a few pockets of showers, one of which just went through our central Kentucky counties a few minutes ago. It's now moving out towards Lexington, Richmond, and Berea. We've also had this band of showers that has developed, stretching from just to the west of Bedford, Indiana, close to Bloomington, really. And it's moving through Jasper, moving through Spencer County, Indiana, Holiday World, right? Down towards Owensboro and getting closer to Madisonville and Hopkinsville. There has been absolutely nothing within that line of showers that would suggest things intensifying at this point or becoming cellular, which is good. But obviously, we're just kind of getting started with this alert day and this severe weather event. For the most part, a lot of us have been socked into cloud cover today. However, a lot of you have said, you said it this morning, it looks like we're seeing it now, to where the sun still is having that battle, trying to peek through those clouds. Hopefully the clouds can keep winning that battle as we go through the next few hours. Again, that would help to limit the supercell concern, but I want to emphasize we are going to have a line of severe storms that rolls through the entire viewing area, all 34 of our counties this evening. The conditional threat, or the threat that's not guaranteed, is the supercell threat that we'll have to watch now through about 7 o'clock tonight. Kaylee is watching us up in Madison, Indiana. Said the sun's been out in Madison throughout the afternoon. Appreciate that report, Kaylee. Yeah, it's been kind of that battle. There'd be a good bit of cloud cover, then the sun would get through. You really want to have at least an hour or two of not full sunshine, but enough sunshine, right? That's when you start to get some problems. And again, it's not going to take much more sunshine this afternoon before we get into that supercell threat, because the atmosphere is pretty unstable. And there's a ton of moisture in place for severe storms. Let's see. Dale's watching us on YouTube. He's getting some sun where he's at in Linden. Jocelyn has the sky clearing out in New Albany. All right. So there you go. None of this is surprising, but I do appreciate all of your reports. It helps us get an idea of what you're seeing and what it might mean over the next few hours, right? Let's see. Very sunny in Pee Wee Valley. Donnie says the sun is shining up in Seymour. Kyle says the sun out is very, very bad, right? Yeah, it's not our friend today. That is for sure. Let's just go ahead, since things are still behaving here at home or nearby, let's zoom things out. And let me clear the drawings there for you. I posted something similar on social media about 45 minutes ago. You've kind of got two branches of this storm system in play right now. The northern branch has been severe for at least an hour, likely longer. To be honest with you, I took a little nap while things were still quiet around lunchtime. But this cluster of storms that stretches from central Illinois up towards Champaign along I-70, that continues to lift very quickly to the north and east. That's going to be an issue for Indianapolis here in about an hour or two. But that will not be an issue for us. The text box you see says the northern storms likely miss our area. That's just to make sure that we don't have those storms kind of extend a little further southward as they keep moving north and east. That might clip northern or parts of Lawrence County as a result. We'll watch it, but it looks like that northern branch is not going to be an issue for us. What will be an issue in all likelihood, and let me go to a different map here without the text boxes. What is going to be our problem is what's developing in southern Missouri. We've got severe thunderstorm warnings for St. Louis or the St. Louis metro. This is kind of the beginnings out here, especially from St. Louis down towards close to Branson, Missouri. That is going to be the main line of severe storms that arrives after 7 o'clock tonight. Now, the supercell threat is still there. Hasn't materialized so far, but remember, we're just now getting into that window to where we could start to see those supercells fire up. And if you look closely across southern Illinois and western Kentucky, there are some isolated cells trying to get going. They have had a good bit of sunshine over the last few hours. You know, we talked about seeing a decent bit of sunshine or peaks of it here. They've seen quite a bit more sun this afternoon out to our west in southern Illinois and western Kentucky, even southwest Indiana. So we're going to have to watch these cells as they try to get their act together over the next couple of hours. Will they all go severe? Not necessarily, but it only takes one of those supercells to really take charge, intensify, be the strongest of them all, take all the energy ahead of the main line of storms to cause an increased tornado or hail threat. Now, all of these little cells will keep pushing east as the day goes on. And they could be an issue in our area, I'd say, within the next 1 to 2 hours, especially if we have any cells that try to develop closer to Evansville and Owensboro. So, quite honestly, the forecast remains on track. We're going to have to watch these little cells, nothing too alarming right now, but they are going to be moving into a environment that they will like, that they will really, really like. Very unstable atmosphere, a lot of moisture, good wind energy aloft. It's a pretty good setup for any of those isolated cells to go severe and to spin rather quickly. I really think the threat for strong tornadoes, so EF2 or higher, I think that's really going to be confined to any of these cells that become supercells, okay? But we'll still have the risk for spin-up tornadoes along the main line of severe storms after 7 o'clock tonight as well. Kind of that two-part storm threat we've been talking about for the last couple of days, certainly coming into focus at this time. In fact, right on cue, this supercell north of Carbondale, Illinois, has just gone severe. Right there. So again, once some of these cells can really take advantage of that unstable atmosphere, they're going to get severe quick. And that's exactly what we're seeing now across southern Illinois. Let's see. Anita in Meade County. Hope you're well, my friend. Sun's been out for a while. That's not good. But I appreciate the report, Anita. Hope all is well. Susan says the sun is now out in Corydon. Sun and clouds having a battle. Yeah, that when you have setups like this, quite honestly, that's what it is. It's a battle between sun versus clouds. And even if the sun kind of, think of it as like a 10-round boxing match, if the sun wins 2 or 3 of those rounds, that's still enough to cause some problems, especially with the atmosphere we have today. So let's see. Jeremiah says the sun's been out quite a bit throughout the day in E-Town. Angela says it's cloudy where she's at in Madison, Indiana. Let's see. What other cloud reports? James watching us in Shepherdsville says he's got some cloud cover. And again, the longer these clouds can hold on, the better that would be for us. So again, the forecast, it really hasn't changed a whole lot. You can kind of see the beginnings of the main line of severe storms. I mentioned it's kind of broken up into 2 parts. Here's the northern part. That's not an issue for us. That's going to be an issue for Indianapolis. If you know anybody that's still up at the NCAA tournament up there in Indianapolis, might want to give them a call because that's going to be trouble for them within the hour. Severe thunderstorm warnings out near St. Louis. That is going to be our portion of the main line of storms that arrives this evening, the main show, okay? That moves into our western counties. We still think around 7 p.m. Could that be a little earlier? Perhaps, maybe an hour earlier. Can't rule it out. Some of the high-resolution models, though, are trying to slow it down a little bit again. They've been really struggling with how fast or how slow the main storm line is going to be tonight. But we still think between 7 p.m. and no later than 3 a.m. for that line of severe storms. But before we deal with that, we're going to have to watch these supercells, including that one severe cell that's near Mount Vernon, Illinois, along I-64. If you've driven to St. Louis from Louisville, you know that you go through there along 64. And we'll have to watch these cells further to the south, down near Carbondale, Paducah. Just downpours right now, but they could get their act together pretty quickly too. So that's where the radar picture is at this point. We do have our first tornado watch of the day. It only includes Lawrence County, Indiana at this time. There's Lawrence County. Any of our friends up in Bedford, Indiana? Yeah, you guys are under the tornado watch until 8 o'clock. I still guarantee you that this tornado watch is going to be extended. When? Probably in the next 2 to 3 hours, if I had to venture a guess. We let the Storm Prediction Center make that call, but we will have a tornado watch for likely most, if not the rest of Wave Country by, I'd say, no later than 6 o'clock. No later than that. Probably before then. But for now, the tornado watch is just for, in our coverage area, Lawrence County, while you see all of our friends out to the west remain under that tornado watch as well. The first of what will be numerous tornado watches today. There you see that sun peeking through from downtown Louisville. It's not a lot of sun peeking through, but it might just be enough. When you got an unstable atmosphere like it is, as it already is, it won't take much sun to add insult to injury. 73 is our current temperature here in Louisville. It is windy again. What else is new this spring, right? Wind gusts, last check at Alva International, 32 miles an hour. Goes to show you the kind of wind energy we have with this setup today. Next 12 hours, we'll keep it at around a 40 to 60% chance for any potential cells that develop ahead of the main line. As we have discussed, the supercell threat continues from now until 7 p.m., by and large. After 7 o'clock tonight, we turn our attention away from the supercell threat, and we focus on that line of severe storms that's just now getting going out in Missouri. That'll be after 7 p.m., and it might take until 3 a.m., so 12 hours from now, for the severe storms to exit our far southern counties. But as we've said throughout the day, you're not going to see severe weather for the entirety of the next 12 hours, okay? We're not seeing severe weather right now, right? The further north you are, the quicker the severe storms roll out. I still think here in Louisville, we're done with the severe weather by midnight at the absolute latest. It's just that those storms may hold on a little while longer in our far southern counties until about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And remember, we cover 34 counties, not just your county. So we have to factor in everybody when we give you these time frames, okay? Here in Louisville, for the main line of storms, I think we're still looking at about 9 or 10 o'clock. So no major forecast changes, but we still wanted to hop on here to give you an update on where things stand and where we're heading. Here's Futurecast. This is fresh. I haven't even looked at this updated Futurecast, okay? This is 5 p.m., and I do not like what I see. We've got supercells continuing to develop over the next couple of hours, pushing into our area, excuse me, after 4 or 5 o'clock. 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Any of these cells, if they can take advantage of the unstable atmosphere, or if they can kind of like steal all the energy from the other cells around it, they are going to get severe quick, and they will spin rather quickly. So while the main show is still with the line of storms tonight, don't ignore this, okay? You can get out and about. You know, you don't have to cancel your plans, but you've got to have a way to get those warnings, and you got to be able to get to shelter if any of these supercells come near where you're at. And again, not everybody will see these supercells this afternoon. It'll be very scattered, hit and miss, as you see here on the Futurecast. So this is 5 o'clock. Yeah, I don't like that at all. See these cells by themselves? This is where we're going to have the greatest risk for tornadoes, potentially 1 or 2 strong tornadoes. And again, we don't say that to alarm you at all. I know everybody has a lot of anxiety. I understand. I was scared to death of tornadoes when I was a kid, but we'll have to watch these supercells for the strong tornado potential. Later on tonight, with the line of severe storms, it'd be more of those spin-ups, those quick spin-ups that are on the ground for 3 or 4 minutes, and then they go back up in the sky. Those are still dangerous, but maybe not quite as intense, not quite as strong as what we could see with any supercells that develop. So this is 6 p.m. We're still tracking supercells potentially across the region. Not everywhere, but some will see supercells, it appears. And then we get towards 8 o'clock tonight. There you see the main line of severe storms across southern Indiana. I still think Bedford, Jasper, Paoli, Seymour, Salem too. You guys could see the main line of severe storms around 7, down towards Corydon and Jeffersonville and Henryville and Borden and Madison by 8 p.m. And here in Louisville, 9 o'clock still looks good. Well, it doesn't look good, but it still looks to be on track for when the severe storm line moves into the metro during that 9 o'clock hour, it appears. So that line of storms will keep rolling east. It will not weaken much. This is a juiced up atmosphere. It's not going to take much instability for these severe storms to keep on rolling through the night. By 11 o'clock, the worst of the severe storms are across central Kentucky. So from Bardstown, E-Town, Litchfield, points south. And then you notice we go through the overnight, those severe storms continue to exit. It looks like now the HRRR model, which is the one I'm showing you, the high resolution rapid refresh model, it has most of the severe storms gone by 1 a.m. everywhere. So perhaps that alert day can get called off early at 1 a.m. Fingers crossed, right? But our southern communities will see the storms exit last tonight. So northern communities, the storms will be done first. Southern communities last. And here in Louisville, of course, right down the middle. I really think here in the metro, we're done with severe storms no later than midnight. And as we go deeper into the night, a few showers, maybe some thunder lingers in our southern communities south of Louisville, but nothing severe once we get past that 2 or 3 a.m. time frame. So that's where we are at this point, guys. The forecast remains on track. There's no changes to our thinking at this point. Still kind of that 1-2 punch, if you will, when it comes to potential cells out there by themselves, and then eventually that main line of storms that everybody's going to see this evening. Excuse me, what questions do we have? Any? Let me know. I got to keep this a little shorter than normal because I do have to start getting ready for our 6 o'clock newscast tonight and potentially severe weather coverage if it gets to that point. Let's see. So everybody looks like we're in good shape. Great. Awesome. This is not awesome, though. Devin just said full sun just south of J-Town by the freeway. That's not good. I appreciate that report, Devin, but the more sunshine we have and the longer that sunshine is around, the more trouble we are going to have. Bailey has a good question talking about the Wave Weather app, which we all recommend that you have, right? Why is the Futurecast on the app different from the Futurecast I'm showing you? Great question. That is just different models, different forecast models. We do not have control of the Futurecast on the app. And to be completely honest with you, we do not recommend using the Futurecast on the Wave Weather app. That's really not in our control. Everything else on the app is, not necessarily the Futurecast parts. We recommend on the Wave Weather app where it says future in the bottom right corner on radar, we recommend you change that setting to where it says past. When you do that, you actually see the live current radar on the app. So we don't recommend the Futurecast on the app. Again, we don't control that. That's literally the only thing on the app that we do not control. Why is it that way? I don't know. But this Futurecast model that I just showed you, this is the one that I think has done a nice job pinpointing how the day has gone so far. And it's doing a good job showing what's happening off to our west now. So that gives me more confidence that this model has the best idea of how the rest of the afternoon and evening is going to play out. So good question, Bailey. Hope that all made sense. Michaela's got a good question about the supercells. What helps them die down? Do they just go away? Do they have to lose the instability beforehand? In the situation with supercells like we're going to have today, it's honestly going to be those cells competing against each other. Supercells thrive when they are out in the environment by themselves. They're loners, right? They want to be out by themselves. They don't want any other storms taking their energy away, taking their good vibes away. Bad vibes for us, right? So if we get a lot of these cells that try to develop just all over the place, they'll all kind of kill each other off and help limit the severe weather threat with the supercells, with those cells. Now, with the line of severe storms tonight, it's going to rip through no matter what because it has the forcing or the push from the cold front to keep it going. The supercells will not. So the supercells want to have their own little environment just to themselves so that they can get charged up, amped up, and cause us all kinds of problems. But if there's too many of them in the same area, you know, it's just not going to work. They can't share all that energy, right? Good question, Michaela. Hope that made sense. Christian asked on YouTube, will that line of storms, or rain rather, moving through Salem right now, would that be better or worse for us in the long haul? It really won't make a difference, especially with that line of severe storms tonight. That's still going to rip through, no doubt. And sorry, just looking at another radar source on my phone. Yeah, the rain you're seeing in Salem right now, it's not really going to help limit the severe threat with the main line of severe storms. And if you get sun that comes out right as soon as that line of showers moves out, then it'll be a moot point, I'm afraid. So let's see. Robert says he's quite worried about the flooding threat late next week. We are too. We are extremely concerned, and I don't say that to scare you. It's kind of caught me off guard how concerning the setup is, not only for flooding later this week, but also severe weather. Folks, I'm telling you, Wednesday night, you've got to be weather aware, even more than you already are tonight. That has the potential to be a very significant severe weather outbreak somewhere nearby. It may not be in our area, but it's way too close for comfort at this point. So we got to get through tonight. That's the main focus right now. But Wednesday night is going to be rough. And Thursday and Friday and possibly Saturday and Sunday of next weekend could be rough for flooding as well. Let's see. Misty says, what counties do you consider to be southern? Basically, anyone along and south of the Kentucky Parkways, right here. So Grayson County, LaRue County, Nelson County, Washington, Marion, Green, Taylor, Adair, Hart. Those counties basically along and south of the parkways. That's kind of what I consider to be our southern communities. Good question. Braden says, will this be a suit jacket off, sleeves rolled up type of severe weather event? It'll feel like it, I'm afraid. I keep the suit coat on during severe weather. I'm not like James Spann in that way, but it's going to be a busy evening, that is for sure. We've got our staffing figured out. The boss is on his way in as we speak. Kevin Harnett will be here to join me, and Brian and Ryan will likely come in should things escalate, which is certainly possible. So we're all going to be here watching it. We are all going to be here throughout the evening. We will, remember, we have to kind of balance getting on TV if there's tornado warnings and also taking care of you guys on social media. So bear with us as we go through this evening, but we'll have you covered no matter what. It may not be in this studio. It might be in the big TV studio, but we're going to be here until it is all over tonight. Let me clear that out. Again, we're still watching this band of showers. It's trying to intensify a little bit, especially down near Bowling Green. Might be a couple little cells trying to get going out near, that would be west of Bowling Green. Let's say Muhlenberg County, Todd County. We'll watch those, but everything's behaving for now, at least in our area. A lot of you saying the sun is out. That's not good, but I appreciate those reports very much. And I appreciate the over 1,000 of you watching us here this afternoon as well. Let's see what few more questions I can answer before we wrap this up. Mason's asking about the SPC enhanced forecast. Why is it cut off right through Shelby County? Well, Mason, I wouldn't read too much into that. Especially now that the event is underway out to our west. Candidly, I throw the SPC outlook aside once the event is happening, because all we're worried about now is just looking at radar, looking at the satellite. Where are the sun breaks? Where are the storms intensifying? Where's the best instability? Where's the best wind shear? Where's the best moisture? This is what we call nowcasting. We are literally forecasting on the fly based on what's actually happening, as opposed to looking at model data at this point. We're shifting that way. So I wouldn't put too much stock into the SPC outlook anymore. Certainly in the days leading up to it, yes. But now that we're in the event, we're focusing on what's actually happening, right? But do you wear suspenders like James Spann? Todd asks. No, I do not. I definitely do not. I don't know if I could pull that look off. Probably not. Not many people can, like Spann can. Let's see. Let's see. Scott asks, severe thunderstorm warnings possible for Louisville? 100%. No question. I think that line of storms tonight is going to have warnings up and down it, across the board, north to south. Now, will they be severe thunderstorm warnings? Will they be tornado warnings? That's hard to say. It all comes down if there's any little rotations within that line. But guys, there's going to be warnings tonight. There is. So make sure you have ways to get those warnings, especially if you're going to be up, if you're going to be going to bed early, like 9 or 10 o'clock. If you're needing to go to bed early because you got to get up early for work in the morning, have ways to get warnings. The Wave Weather app Kevin will yell at you saying there's a tornado warning for your location or a severe thunderstorm warning or anything like that. NOAA Weather Radio, those suckers will wake you up, even if you're a deep sleeper as well. So those are your two baselines for warnings while you're sleeping. NOAA Weather Radio and the Wave Weather app. All right. So that's where we stand at this point. A lot of you saying sunshine, which is not good. Not good at all. Todd's asking about a PDS watch tonight. I don't believe so. There's certainly still a tornado risk, but it's not necessarily an extreme, particularly dangerous situation. Those are very, very rare. Very rare. So I do not anticipate a particularly dangerous situation tornado watch tonight. There will be a tornado watch in all likelihood. There's a 99% chance of that. But it won't be that PDS level. Still just as dangerous. You still need to be on guard. You still need to have those ways to get warnings throughout the evening. All right. So that's going to do it for now. We're going to get ready for the 6 o'clock newscast. Hopefully we can have our newscast like normal. But there will be that possibility that if supercells develop and start to rotate, that we have to do long-form severe weather coverage. Golf fans, we're sorry in advance, but if there are tornado warnings, we are going to interrupt that golf coverage. That's our policy, and we're going to stick to it. So just keep that in mind. I believe we have that on until 6 o'clock tonight, and then we'll hopefully go into news. But that's going to do it for now. Again, we're just now starting to enter that window for those supercells. That'll be with us through about 7 o'clock, and then after 7 p.m., we turn our focus to that line of storms that'll roll through this evening. Continue to stay with us here on Wave for updates here on the social side of things and on television. And, of course, as soon as warnings come out, we will be here with continuous coverage. All right, that will do it for the time being, guys. Stay weather aware. Keep that Wave Weather app handy, and we will talk to you guys shortly. Take care.